Then we see the mushroom cloud. America says the war was over. It was just the beginning for 50 years of every Japanese person alive. The sudden and unprovoked attack of the Empire of Japan at Pearl Harbor. I enlisted in the Marine Corps to avenge Pearl Harbor. I was angry. I wanted to kill Japanese.
I remember like it was yesterday, 1945. I was there to record for history the bitter aftermath of Ground Zero. I stumbled through ashes and rubble to get there. When looked out over the devastating city, shocked, all civilization had vanished. I couldn't believe I was still standing on the planet Earth. Many of these children had lost both parents, either to the war or to the bomb. Those who had no other living relatives became both mother and father to the babies. Offering them an apple, the oldest grabbed it from my hand. They were starving, but despite their intense hunger, they shared the apple, even the skin and core. I saw he was different. When I got as close as this front room, I saw he had no hair, he had no eyebrows, he had no nose, he had no ears, and no flesh on both his stomach and his face. He said to me in very broken English, "Enemy, kill me." So to get away from this situation, I went over to the other side of the room to photograph a little boy that was there and an older man. And before I left that room, I glanced back at him, and it was still. I was at a loss. What should I do for him? He had tears coming down this skinless, fleshless face.
What I saw was terrible. The dead, the children, their mothers, the dying, starvation, disease, some beyond description of human body. After photographing so many horrible scenes of pain and suffering, my hate towards the Japanese changed from hate to compassion. How can one human being do this to another? I just don't understand.
This one boy walked up, and I noticed he had a baby on his back. And two men went around back of him and took the baby off. Didn't throw it, they laid down and softly tossed it into the flames. And he stood there at erection like he was saluting. bare feet, it made a red reflection, and his face would be red, and he never cried, he never did anything but bit his lip. But he walked off and never said a word. I could see the victims and flies and maggots covering their bodies. I could hear them crying for help. I smelt their stench from burned flesh. I put out of my mind, for the most part, the nightmare scenes in which I had been exposed to in Nagasaki. They were so dreadful that the effect on me mentally became troublesome. The real question is, was the United States justified in doing that?
I tried to sleep. I could not sleep. Night would never end. And I got mad. I didn't want to look at them. I could not look at them without being taken back to 1945, and there was nothing I could do. And I said, you know, I was a photographer and also in the Marines at Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Do you have any afterthoughts about dropping the bomb? And he thought, and his face got red, and he said, hell yes. But, you know, I inherited a lot. It wasn't my idea. It was the other president that set that up. I just had to do it for him.
Well, it wasn't any wronger than it was for the Japanese to bomb Pearl Harbor.
It was necessary. I didn't feel any guilt.
Ever since then, I've had a lot of problems. Probably 25 surgeries on my back. I am kind of bitter about them not telling me that where they were sending me, there was radiation there. That's pretty bad. And I spent so much time there, on ground zero, Nagasaki. So much horror, so much waste, so much inhumanity of innocent people, many of them elderly women and children. My feelings range from inconsolable relief to a sense of violent outrage. It was a tremendous emotional ordeal for me to relive the past. But in the end, I was inspired. I know when I had to make my own statement with my photographs on the horrors of nuclear war,
ある日、母が家に帰ってきたら、トランクを開けた父が台所に原爆の写真を並べていたんです。被爆者や爆心地の写真から母は目を背けました。母にはショックが大きすぎたんです。
Please do not misunderstand. I am an American. I love my country. I fought for my country. However, when my country does an injustice to another, I must speak up. American veterans do not understand me. I was there. I walked in the ashes of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The Japanese army did many terrible things in China, Japan, Korea, and whatever. But can't you understand a small child did nothing? It is for those that I speak. They and their mothers did not deserve to die to win a war. It was not right in 1945. It will not be right in the year 2045. It will never be right. It will never be right. History has a way of repeating itself. It must never be repeated again.
Trying to find him. I advertised in the paper because I really wanted to help him. Ran a paper, have you seen this boy? This and he never appeared, and no one ever saw him. He probably lived alone and was on his own, but we never could find him. America doesn't like it, but it comes August the 6th and August the 9th. I would get all kinds of letters. You're a traitor. You don't like your country. Go to Japan. My daughter said to me, Dad, someone has answered your letter, and they are talking very positive that you did the right thing. And I said, well, I got to read that. And I got the paper, and it said, to whoever wrote the letter, go to the library. That's what I did. And you will find out under the atomic bombs what the problem is, who was at fault. Go to the library. You will be educated. That's what I did. And I thought, well, that's great. And I looked down. It's signed by my son. He is my age when I was here in Japan, 23, 25. And he says, Dad, in 50 years, I will be 70, like you. I will go back to Japan and take this exhibit, and I will say the same things that you have said, that to work for peace, you must work for life. I will help you.
I didn't know the story about him. No, I always knew he was in pain. I mean, despite mixed emotions in America, he had to make amends for the bad memories that he caused and that he witnessed. Maybe if I had been back there, I would have noticed the change in him and maybe could have helped him. Smile. Yeah. Yep, right here, yep. Up, no, come on.
父は死ぬ前に言っていました。あの日の長崎には笑顔がなかったと。いつか長崎で笑顔の子供を撮りたいと。それに応えたいと思ったんです。
like throwing a small pebble into the pond. It makes a little hole, a little ripple, but if you watch, it grows a little bit and bigger and finally touches the shore. It's reaching the shore of America. If you all would join me and throw your pebble into the pond, we're going to make so many ripples, it's going to turn into a tidal wave, and everyone is going to see and hear about peace.